Ugh, would you look at that, Margaret? There's a couple of wee naughty boys over there.
So, judging by my reviews so far, I might be running the risk of being labelled a G1er. You wouldn't be wrong in that assertion. I bloody love the G1 cartoon. I'm 41, and the cartoon reminds me of a simpler time when I wasn't a complete car wreck of depression, anxiety, and existential dread. I do appreciate some stuff from outside the 80s though, so today we're going to have a look at two of the most prolific comic book bastards ever put to page. Those being Jhiaxus and Tarn. Jhiaxus was the main big bad fella in the Generation 2 Marvel comic. For those wondering, what the hell is Generation 2? In a nutshell, when Transformers were declining in popularity in the early 90s, Hasbro decided to deck out all the old toys in garish 90s colour schemes, incorporate some shite gimmicks, and try to sell them all over again. Nice! The Generation 2 Marvel comic explained the origin of the Transformers. Primus, the robot god, not the band, made the first Transformers, who then reproduced by kind of spitting out other Transformers until they reached a predetermined number. A weird way to do it, but okay. Anyway, after the Autobots and Decepticons we know and love left Cybertron and took a 4 billion year nap inside a volcano, the robots left on Cybertron began reproducing again, creating a second generation of Transformers. You see what they did there? Second generation, Generation 2, Oh, great. Anyway, Jhiaxus was one of the first of the second generation. Does that make sense? Are you still with me in this one? To cut a long story short, Big Jhiaxus beat up Optimus and Megatron, blah 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 blah, and eventually was killed by the Swarm, a collection of parasitic entities created through abuse of the Transformers' reproduction process. I personally know the dangers of abusing the reproductive process. It can make you go blind, can't it? Oh God, what am I doing with my life? Introduced in the IDW Comics line, Tarn was the leader of the Decepticon Justice Division, a group who religiously followed the writings of Megatron and dealt out swift and cruel punishment to any Decepticon who dared stray away from the values set out in Megatron's version of Mein Kampf. Tarn himself was so committed to the Decepticon cause, he hot glued a Decepticon symbol to his faceplate. He kind of reminds me of the monk from the Da Vinci Code, crossed with an especially committed SS officer. Anyway, when Tarn found out that Megatron had joined the Autobots, he went bloody mental and put the old metal megalomaniac at the top of the Decepticon Justice Division's hit list, leading to a dramatic final battle between the two. An antimatter infused Megatron eventually emerged as a victor, telling Tarn everything he did was for nothing, before killing the poor wee fella. He was a bit of a prick, to be fair, though. Anyway, shall we look at some toys? Here we have Legacy Jhiaxus and Legacy Evolution Tarn. I don't know why it's changed to Legacy Evolution now. Seems the same to me. Twin cast gun can go in the back like a wee aerial. Oh, I never have thought of doing that. Pure shite, innit? Let's be honest. Let's start with Jhiaxus. Wow, look at this fella. He certainly is rocking those 90s colours. He's like a robotic representation of the Saved by the Bell logo. In fact, I'm sure I had a shell suit with these colours when I was 10. I love his proportions. He is so tall and gangly, with his slender limbs and tiny torso. He kind of reminds me of the human-alien hybrid from Alien Resurrection. The head sculpt on Jhiaxus is right out of the pages of the Generation 2 comic. He looks proper raging, like he's just found out that someone had shat in his dinner. I'm really impressed with all the extra detail on this big fella, like his wee rebreather under his mouth, his wee shoulder-mounted target finder, and these wee metal pipes outlined in his shins. They really went all out with this grumpy guy, even giving him the much coveted opening hands. The only thing a bit off in robot mode are these wee wings on his legs. I mean, they're accurate to the source material, but they're a bit much, aren't they? They're like cheap green vampire wings bought off a Wish. I know Jhiaxus is a bit intimidating, but surely one of his subordinates would have told him they're, kinda goofy. Ah, you do you, Jhiaxus, I suppose. Jhiaxus turns into this spaceship kind of thing. It's pretty nice, eh? I could defo imagine Flash Gordon using this wee plane to cut about in. Maybe to go and pick up Zoltan, go out in the town, have a few beers and a wee laugh. It's a great wee thing. I love how his wings fold all the way to the back of the ship. That's dead clever. The only thing that's a bit off are his big old arms and underneath. It was nearly perfect, but this is a wee bit shite. I wish they could have found a way to fold the arms up into the empty space under the cockpit. It's not too bad though. Just look at the state of Blitzwing's plane mode. It's bloody better than that disaster at least. Let's move on to Tarn. What a great wee fella he is. His head sculpt is just awesome, going all in with Decepticon badge faceplate. I would have loved it if he could remove it, showing his actual face underneath, but I also would like not to have paralysing anxiety for just one day. You can't have everything, eh? The rest of Tarn's body is super slender, giving off some creepy Christian Bale and the Machinist vibes. I love how poseable this wee guy is. He can rock just about any pose you'd like him to do. There's some great use of clear plastic in Tarn, meaning you can see through his wee tummy, and this dual fusion cannon catches the light very well. He's got a wee bit on top of his head for light piping, but it doesn't work too good though. It would have been amazing to see his eyes light up through the faceplate, but it really is just not happening for the wee fella. Anyway, his wee hands also open, and his fingers are all pointing like wee claws. He's really creepy, and I'm bloody loving it. Tarn's dual fusion cannons can be taken apart and displayed in a variety of positions. You can give him Starscream's dual null ray setup, or combine the two for this big old sniper rifle thing. Oh, it's so long and purple. What are you going to do with that thing, Tarn? Oh, dirty wee man. You can even put them on his back for this dual over-the-shoulder setup. Great, innit? Like my favourite drag queens, Tarn is great at accessorising. Tarn turns into this glorious wee space tank. It's dead good. I mean, he's essentially just folding himself up to a wee flat thing with treads on the side, but I'm into it. It's leagues better than that thing Skullgrin turned into. Watch that review. The only thing a wee bit off are that his hands are sticking out the back. After all the great engineering on this lovable wee zealot, it would have been great if the hands could fold into the arms to keep them hidden in alt mode. Again, you can't have everything though. For instance, I'd kill for just one day where I didn't have liquid poop. I can let the wee hands thing go. They're not too distracting. Great alt mode, all in. So, should you get these despicable Decepticon dudes? Yeah, I'd recommend them both. I was going to do a what's the best kind of thing between them, but both the boys are just top tier. I'd say that Jhiaxus is more fun to mess about with, but Tarn just looks so cool. I wouldn't pass on either of them. Funny how in the Transformers fandom we have figures of such tyrannical naughty men. It's kind of like recommending figures of Saddam Hussein and Hitler. Could that be an idea for a new toy line? World's biggest bastards, complete with accessories? You could have like Ted Bundy with a wee sling and a tire iron, or Peter Sutcliffe with a wee hammer. Anyway, I'm off to go and speak to Duncan Bannatyne. Hope you guys have a great night. Catch you later.